In this video, we're going to show you how to install pads and rotors on your Hummer H3 located behind your front wheels. With the vehicle raised and supported, I'm going to go ahead and remove our center cap. You can use a flathead screwdriver or a trim tool, and you're going to come in right behind here and gently pry out and pop that off. Using a 19mm socket, I'm going to go loosen and remove our lug nuts. Go ahead and grab that wheel, remove it, and set it aside. Now with the wheel removed, you want to go ahead and remove our brake pads next. These are held in place by these two pins, and they have little clips. So we're going to use our needle nose pliers. I want to pull the retainer like so. And do the same on the upper. There it is. Now I want to tap these pins out. Sometimes they can be rusted in there a little bit. I'm going to pull the top one first. I just get my pliers on here. I'm just going to pinch and rock it. You can always spray this down with some rust penetrant True if you want. Now the bottom has a little retainer spring clip on it. I'm just using a punch here to fit through. And we have a retainer here. I'm just going to pull that out. And there's two little legs that go into the pads, and this helps push those pads apart. Now in most cases, you can grab those pads and pull them out. If you can't, you can use a flathead screwdriver. And what we're going to do is just pry on these a little bit. We're going to try and push those pistons in just a little bit using our flathead screwdriver. That gives us a little bit of play there. I'm just grabbing the rotor on the front side and wiggling that rotor. It gives us a little bit more clearance. Go ahead and remove that pad, and we're going to do the same for the front. Now we want to go ahead and remove our brake caliper itself. On the back side, there's a couple bolts. So I'm going to go ahead, and I have the key in the on position. So we can go ahead and crank this out like so. Now, if you decide to do that, put the key in the on position, you can simply disconnect the ground terminal on the battery, and you can leave that key in the on position for as long as you perform this job without killing the battery. Now, right here and here are the bolts we want to loosen and remove, so let's go ahead and do that. We use our 18mm to go ahead and loosen these bolts. Now before we pull this caliper bracket off, we have our hook here. And what we're going to do is we're going to support our caliper. Our caliper is actually our caliper bracket on this particular vehicle. It's all one. So instead of letting this just fall down and hang on our flex hose, we use this to support it. I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to hook this. I'm going to support it up on the control arm, like so. Now these are a 4-piston caliper. There's 2 on one side and 2 on the other. Now we have a tool here that actually will compress all 4 of these pistons together. If you push on just 2 of these here, the other ones will push out. So you need to have a tool like this here to go ahead and press these in. And you want to go ahead and do this slowly. And what's happening is you're pushing fluid back up into the master cylinder. And you need to do this in order to fit the new pads onto the rotor. And you know that you're done. It'll be fully seated. Now on the front here, you can go ahead and grab that brake rotor, work that off, and set that aside. Next thing you want to pay attention to is the surface of your wheel hub. Now if it's rusty and scaly, you're simply going to use a bristle brush and go ahead and clean that, and you can spray it down with some solvent. You want to make sure that there's no rust or debris buildup around the surface. That's going to keep that brake rotor from sitting flush on that hub. Ideally, you want to go ahead and cover this here or coat it thinly with some anti-seize compound. That'll keep that rotor from sticking on there. Go ahead and grab your brake rotor and slide this on. Now, when you receive your brake rotors, chances are they're going to be in a plastic bag and you're going to have an oil coating on it. That's to protect it while it's in storage. You want to take these here before you assemble everything, spray them down with some solvent, wipe them down, both the front and the back, get them all prepped, ready to go. We already did ours, but we're going to do a little extra here. Slide that back in place. Now for installation purposes with your caliper, I'm going to go ahead and take one of the lug nuts here. You can see that the rotor just wants to naturally flop out. Well, that kind of diminishes the ease of assembling your brakes, because then you got to keep on holding that. And there you go, that lug nut just simply holds that rotor in place. I'm going to take our caliper here. And let's go ahead and slide this over. Install our upper bolts here. Now I like to get the upper bolt started first. There I can let the caliper hang. Make sure that's in several threads. Okay. And grab that lower one. Line that up and get that started. Let's go ahead and snug these down. We're now going to torque our bolts to 144 foot-pounds. Now, one of the most common things that is missed when you're doing your brakes is clean up and prep before installing your pads and pins. Now, we have a little bore brush here. We're going to clean where the pins go. If you don't do that, you risk the chance of the pins binding up in there. And the other thing is inside where the pads go. Now, we already cleaned that up a little bit. If for some reason you have excessive rust, you can use a flat file to go ahead and clean the surface where the pads are going to go. Now, placing the pads in. You want to pay attention to this here. You do not have to put grease on here. If you put grease on these areas, dirt and debris is going to stick to it, and it's going to keep your pads from working the way they need to. Inboard pad, put your squeak tab facing up. Go ahead and slide this into place. Outboard pad does not have a squeak tab on it. Line that up. I'm going to slide that into place. They do have to go in evenly, so be careful with that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of our pins, slide it through the pad. We have our retainer, put these tabs in. You want to make sure that the loop comes around, it goes back up. And you'll figure this out. If you flip it wrong, it just won't fit. So put that in, push those down inside, work that pin through. And you want that pin to capture that retainer spring. Push that through. And you just got to wiggle that pad out a little bit to get that pin to line up and pop it through. Go ahead and grab one of your new retainer cotter pins here, line that up, and push that on. Let's go ahead and do the same for the top. We don't have the little retainer here. Slide that through. I like to make sure that the hole for the cotter pin is facing in a position that we can easily fit that pin in. And then push that on. Now at this point here, we can go ahead and remove our lug nut from the brake rotor. Ideally, what you want to do is go ahead and hop into the vehicle, pump up the brakes. Now the pedal is going to be mushy at first because these pistons have to compress in to take up that little gap there. But once that pedal firms up, you want to go ahead and repeat this process for the passenger side. Go ahead and install your wheels and you're all set. You can take your wheel, line it up on those studs, set it in place. We want to go ahead and get all of our lug nuts started by hand. Once they're all started, we're going to go ahead and snug them down. Now I want to go ahead and snug these down in a crisscross pattern. We're now going to torque down our lug nuts to 103 foot-pounds. When doing this, you want to do it in a crisscross pattern. Grab your center cap. You want to line up this leg with the opening here in the wheel. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.